Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Nowhere Profit, where today we are once again attempting the daily challenge. Today's modifiers are Sparking. Scrapping a card regains 1 energy instead of giving you a new card, seems terrifying to deal with. And also Lead. Followers and constructs can no longer move. Was I aware that constructs could move? I don't know, it doesn't matter, whatever. So, who do we think? I'd like to play with a new convoy, if possible. Who do we think will play well under this rule set? The traders have... the traders just have guys, right? They have guys that you kind of want to black out. But we don't have the blackout thing unlocked. So, we do get 1 copy of blackout. If we take the Banshee, I guess. I don't know that we'll necessarily... Boy, I don't know what we're going to play. I wonder, though. I wonder if the Hermit might be good here. Because we have relatively few cards anyway, so when we scrap a thing... I guess if we scrap a Loyal Canine, though, it goes away forever, right? We never, ever want to do that. So this is not... We don't actually get to take advantage of Sparking. But the fact that Sparking is disadvantageous will rarely matter for us, right? Maybe that's exactly what we want. Maybe we should try it this way. It feels a little goofy. This whole Hermit thing feels strange. Okay, so if we're thinking we're going to try to run Hermit, which might be a hilariously short venture, who is the leader? Who is our Hermit leader who has such very good dogs? Honestly, damage seems pretty good. Reinforce does nothing with our deck. I guess that's not true. Because when our guys die, they go into the deck and then we can reinforce to draw them immediately. Blessed Strength, and then just like damage is good. There are some things that the Loyal Canine is going to have trouble dealing with. Okay, maybe this is suicide, but let's try it. Let's try a Firebrand Hermit, just guns and dogs. This is a classic Wasteland Wanderer archetype. Is this gonna... I don't know if this is gonna work at all. We're gonna give it the old college try, though. I think the Hermit Convoy is so strange. Alright, Right, we don't start with any things. I guess let's just get a move on. Oh, I was seeing the 3 here and thinking, oh, we have 3 loyal... It's 1 Loyal Canine. Okay. It's alright. He'll be a good boy. We can recruit other people. I cannot start the diversion because I lack human follower. Well, let's just fight these dogs with our dog. I am fine with these cards, I think. Who's a good boy? Enthusiastic bark. Yeah. I'm terrified by not being able to scrap stuff to draw. Alright, well, I was gonna say please play another thing in that column. But why not just play him in the right position the first time, you know? Alright, well, we're just gonna, like, burst fire the column, right? And then... Do I bother trading, or do I just go to the dome? I guess he's about out of cards. We can do this, redraw our guy, and then... Yeah, that's totally fine. Static charge plus play dog is pretty great here. It's a shame his strength goes up, but his toughness never does. 4 is a real awkward number. Is he going to re-kill my dog? No, okay. He's just gonna play a challenge that does nothing. That I'm fine with. May as well bolster. Hey, you know, I should have done this too. It's not going to end up mattering, almost certainly, but... Alright, it turns out we can win very, very easy battles. Don't you dare. Okay, I was going to say, if it, quote-unquote, randomly moves to that position, I'm going to be super annoyed. Alright, blessed dog. And since the dog cannot become wounded, I think he's just permanently blessed, right? Oh, sweet blessed dog. Okay. Heavily armored ridges. Boy, our dog could die from events, though, couldn't he? I guess we have to be really cautious about that. In the situation we're in now, I think we can just wait for the wrenches to leave. We don't need to fight. And then we can... I'm allowed to recruit, right? We started with no convoy, but I think I'm allowed to recruit. Okay, a huge motor wagon, a group of scavengers. We're already working on it. Here's the thing. I imagine, as we're a hermit here, probably not like super fond of humans, but when we do trade with them for valuables, we usually get a lot more value than the 8 batteries we pay. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, it wasn't a lot more value, but it was more value. Let's go to the market and sell my garbage. Here, do you want this actual trash I found? Of course you do. And then followers. Ooh. If your leader has less health than the enemy leader, gain taunt and stoic. That should almost never be the case, right? Pack leader. That's a lot of cash for a guy who has 4 toughness. A Serrata glider is going to be pretty powerful a fair amount of the time. And we could like take on the witness and just not put him in the deck until he is healed. He's pretty useful as a spell. So there's like a question here, right? Obviously, it is potentially useful to be able to have more than one creature on the table at a time. But how much of a deck do we want to have? Because we do want to be redrawing our dog a lot. I think the Keeper is quite good. We're going to buy this Keeper. We're not going to play him until he gets healed, but he's quite good. And then, do I also want the Serrata glider? We're going to draw 3... our natural hand sizes... All the things about our hand sizes are switched, right? So we'll only be drawing 2 cards from the convoy deck at the beginning of combat, plus another card at the beginning of the first turn. So as long as our deck is fewer than, like, 5 cards, we will see the dog all the time. And I would like something huge and terrifying. I'm gonna buy this guy. That Fury is like never gonna happen, but he's a 5/7 with overwhelming, so he's still like pretty good. I'm gonna take on actually all of these. They're not necessarily all going in the deck. Okay, and then was there anything we want to buy at the market? We have a lot of food. Yeah, this gives armor. I'll buy a point of armor for 14 batteries. I'm okay with that at this juncture. And with that, I think we're good. We have 82 food, so I don't really need to buy food. I think I'd rather have the batteries. Okay, so let's put you and you in the convoy deck. The others can wait. It is worth also remembering if there are 4 or more cards in our convoy deck, we're not guaranteed to draw a dog on the first turn, which obviously is not great. We definitely want to draw a dog. We arrived at a scene of carnage. A group of traders and their wagons have been attacked by Hill Tribe raiders. You know what? We're going to stay and help them. Give us meditation beads. When a friendly unit is healed, it gains +1/+1. Huh. We could try to form a deck around that. Maybe we're not a hermit because we hate people. But instead for some other reason. Maybe body odor. This is why we have a loyal dog. Dogs don't dislike people who stink. Dogs love it when things stink. That's like the best thing. Alright, a band of feral warriors sporting primitive weapons and bright decorative scars were crouching behind it. They want tribute. I do not want to pay a tribute. That's not happening. Alright, not wild about reinforce, but I'm cool with the rest of this. Alright. Loyal dog, go forth. His name is Killer, that's a little on the nose. We might want to come up with a better name. I do not fear your 3-3. Okay, that's annoying, though. Yeah, well, that sucks a huge amount. Do we... I think we do Blessed Strength on the dog and then just destroy this. Or we could Quick Shot plus kill it with the dog. That's going to do some damage to the dog, but it does also allow me to play Serrata Glider if I want. I don't really want to commit Burst Fire. I think I'm just going to do this. And we'll not play anything else this turn. Yeah, well... I could scrap Quick Shot. No, never mind. Burst Fire costs 4. We cannot Burst Fire under any circumstances. Also, why would we want to when we can save it for now? Right? Look at how good it is now. Okay, and our man here is in dire, dire straits. I can't help but notice that none of those guys have taunt. Okay, that's a pretty good reward. So, I think I was pretty pleased with the results we got last time by making sure to like double back a lot, especially in the early game. I think we're gonna loop around here. We'll do this fight instead of that one. Things got a little hairy at some points on Hope and stuff, but on the whole, I think leveling up a ton was really good for us. So if I choose not to have something right now, it just goes back in the deck, right? No, okay, it goes out permanently. Okay, that could be annoying. This guy's gonna play a lot of taunt stuff. Alright, well, we do have a solution. It is a little frustrating that I'm gonna have a hard time killing that because he's gonna keep playing guys with taunt next to it. So, I don't know, it totally went back. It absolutely went back in the deck. So how do we want to deal with this? Obviously, I can bolster dog. We can bolster the dog. We can kill one of those guys. We can then quick shot or static charge to kill this thing off. The static charge does a point of damage to the dog, which is probably irrelevant. And it puts a point of damage on this guy, which is also probably irrelevant. And I can play the Serrata Glider, but obviously, if I do that, it's just going to get killed. It's a little awkward. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna quick shot, and I'll play the glider behind a rock, so that we'll bash our way out, and that'll give us time to finish this guy off. Okay, fine by me. That I'm less fine with. Alright, so... Static Charge does actual nothing. Not having the ability to dig in our leader deck is going to definitely have some implications for the way we construct our leader deck. Obviously, like, dog is pretty good here, but we unfortunately just don't have a way of stopping them from hitting me in the face for 7. If I play the canine, I think there's at least a chance that they'll go for the trade. They seem to really like going for the trade. Yeah. And then we don't do anything? I don't really even want to smash the rock because that's just going to get me killed. I think we just pass. If I throw Blessed Strength on the dog, they won't be able to trade with it straight up. I'm wondering if they'll sacrifice 2 guys to take it down. Let's... Oh no, wait, it has stealth, right. They can't do that because they don't have the damage. Well, so we're going to take a big hit here, but there's a reasonable chance we're going to be able to kill their leader on the next turn. We have to draw a little bit of damage. We just need, like, shot. And boy, do we need it. Okay, Static Charge does not exactly get the job done. Static Charge does kill 3 of their creatures, and then the dog can kill another one. It is a shame though. We end up 1 point short of the kill this way. So we do have to use the dog to kill another one, and we also have to kill our own beast, which is a bummer. Yeah, man, I very much hate not being able to scrap into our leader deck. There's no reason to play Canine here when we could play Thornhide Skulker instead, right? And then I think we have to shoot the 4-1, as much as I want to use that. Really? That's where that had to come down? Man. As much as I want to obviously be able to shoot their leader. Oh, never mind. We're fine, because their leader is out of cards. It is a little bit of a bummer that means we don't get a blessing. Also, I took 12 damage. Maybe a thing we ought to be cautious about. Alright, let's level up. Show me something cool. Coordinated Fire is not super good in our deck. Neither is Battle Cry, honestly. Well, Battle Cry is not horrible. I don't know, maybe Coordinated Fire is fine. It's very expensive for what it does, but we really have very limited ways of dealing with multiple enemies. And like I said, we gotta be real careful about what is in our deck here. Alright, Reinforce is getting cut. No question. We will cut the other one just the instant we can. What are the odds that I lose this before we get off the first map? A herd of saltabirds. I'm a little bummed out that the dog is not good at hunting the birds. Okay, we fail to hunt bird. We should probably pull the wounded Serrata glider out of the deck. Sorry, that's not what I want. It's nice that there are robust filter settings, though. Alright, a swarm of ferocious machines is upon us, and I am, like, definitely really worried. So that's too expensive. Burst Fire is amazing, though, and we definitely want to have access to it. That's super annoying. That he played all of his guys in different columns. Well, the sniper's got to go. And then I guess it doesn't really matter from here what we should kill one of them. Or I guess I could just bolster and go for the face. Yeah, alright, let's do that. We need to conclude this battle relatively quickly. Oh hey, fortify, huh? Alright, well, at least you're dead. But yeah, we are hemorrhaging health. We need a guy who has actual taunt, like, soon. A friendly follower with 2 cost or less attacks, push it. That's no good at all for me. Yeah, this is not going that well. Caravan of merchants fighting some feral warriors. Let's help the caravan defend themselves, I guess. We could really use some help. Right now, things are less dangerous than they will ever be in the future. So I think we want to take our chances now. Try to get ourselves in a position to be strong on later maps. Okay, so we're just trading with that Crashjacker, right? I don't know that I really have a lot of options. I could take a 3-for-1 to kill him. That feels pretty horrible. Now we are behind. Do I want to shoot this guy in his face a bunch? Just to maintain tempo? Right, I'm going to spend shot. Because now he has the same life as the power of 100% of the creatures in our deck. So we don't have to get terribly lucky. Don't really have a lot of plays here. Yeah, so we take 5. But there's a reasonable chance we kill him, even if he plays something with Taunt. We have Neural Shiv. Bolster doesn't do anything. I guess it gets me out of some removal. Okay, that's not a thing he's going to be able to combo together at us. And I love this. I love this thing where he chooses not to deal damage to me for no reason at all. Okay, cool. Thanks to some really terrible play on his part, we're fine. Ooh. A mortar is actually maybe very good for us. Also, healing. Wonderful, wonderful things. So now that we have some guys healed up, let's put them in the deck. On 4 cards, we're no longer guaranteed first turn K9. And we definitely need first turn K9. So as much as I like Witness, I think we want to have a guy who is huge and terrifying, and also a guy with Taunt. That's a good team to back up the dog. I think Blind Rage is maybe very good for us here. We're going to remove that other Reinforce immediately. Alright, our deck's starting to look a little better. What a time to draw a thing. Still no weapons. I think we're probably going to end up selling both of those other pieces of equipment. Unless we come across some other sources of healing, I guess. Alright, scratches on the blue bark of the savanna trees mark this as the territory of local predators. Unsurprisingly, the beasts approached us a little while later just after dark, but we were well prepared and fought back with everything we had. Including our mortar. So we're just going to put you back in the deck. I guess, no, I'm not guaranteed to draw the dog with 4 if I do this, because we could just draw the card we put back in the deck, right? Okay. And then hopefully he doesn't have anything with Taunt. As always, I just really don't want to see any Taunters. Alright, Slice is reasonable for him. Ooh, wait, does he go in? Sometimes they just play Spark at the end of their turn for no reason, so it doesn't necessarily tell us much. Okay, he's got a Black Scale Grab. Well, So we can kill the Black Scale Gram with Static Charge. I could play Blessed Strength on Dog. There's not really a good way to do this, huh? I think we want to play the Static Charge. Oh no, wait, I just have Lethal, don't I? No, not quite. I can get the dog to 6 power. So the question really is, do we kill one of the Jaroon? I think the answer is yes. And then we're a serious threat here. And we also have Keeper. He has to trade for me. Which works out okay for us. And then the Mortar happens. And then we play Keeper, who's just a huge pain in the ass for his deck. And then next turn we have like Dog plus stuff. Yeah, we're in good shape. Oh no, not a 3-3. Whatever shall I do? Okay, weird call. Boy, I sort of want to just play Coordinated Fire Quick Shot instead of doing anything here. Because this sure does remove his entire board. Top decks for garbage. Alright, I think the smart move here is definitely smash you, play Thornhide Skulker. There is unfortunately some chance, at least, that they're going to disrupt us, but I would really, really like to get a blessing on Keeper if we can. Alright, please don't have great damage spells. Okay, cool. 3-6 barrier, or 3-5 barrier taunt is, like, phenomenal. What a good man. Alright, this first map has gone maybe a little bit less cleanly than I was hoping. A band of pilgrims had set up camp and invited us to join them. You know what? Sure. I will recruit them if they would like to join us. Probably not any people that we're going to play. Reduce cost of all constructs in your hand by 2 is nothing for us. Archivist is pretty whatever. The Machine Guard is at least a possibility, but I don't think I want to run any more cards in my deck right at this moment. Alright. This guy's like, I've fought battles and I'm mad at you, and then we killed him. And then we killed the entire hell out of him. Do I want to drop the Thornhides? I guess it doesn't matter. All we really want is to make sure we have K9. So, actually pretty happy with it. We'll just keep it. Take damage, all the cards in your hand, get +1/+0. Okay. That's a shame we don't really have a deck where we can build up a huge punch. We're probably not going to be able to kill him all in one. That guy is a pain. Boy, what a set of dudes for you to have. Alright, well, we can use Blind Rage to kill him. Right, because he only robusts if he would die from damage. So, like, I think it's perfectly reasonable for us to do this. And then Blind Rage to just clear the board. And next turn we can play Keeper and have some kind of control. Have some modicum of control over the table. Oh, you have your own tough taunt man. That Mortar, I think, is going to be pretty good for us. I wish we had a higher rarity version of it so that it would stick around for more charges. Okay, that's very annoying. Well, I mean, obviously we do this. And then we play the Thornhide and get a 2-1. We just try to overwhelm him next turn. Oh hey, I actually do have less life than that guy does. So yeah, it's not unreasonable for that to trigger during boss fights. Okay, Mind Seize is interesting. I think it's pretty bad for him, actually. And that was terrible. I don't know what the hell that was. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think that was all that good. Do we just double static charge plus play K9? I think so. This does do some actual damage to me, unfortunately. So he only has 2 charges of this. That was one of them. So we have now spent that thing. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with it. He still has 19 health. Okay, deplete's pretty good. That's a pretty good play there. Obviously, that guy has to go. That's a pretty high importance. Let's try this again. Well, he still has an absolutely full hand. That sucks so much. Well, that was a damn good draw. Wow, what a pull. Alright, he's probably either out of cards that were in his hand when they all got +2/+0, or at least close. 3 cards left in our deck. Alright, well that guy's dead. So do we eat the 4/4 to try to maintain some level of control? He has effectively infinite cards. Or do we just go for his face, hoping that I'll be allowed to go for his face plus quick shot him next turn? I think we gotta do that. Our situation is pretty tenuous here, in terms of amount of time remaining. Alright, that guy does not have taunt. Yeah, that was close. Well, we made it through the first map, but the way we made it through the first map does not give me a huge amount of hope for the future. And we are obviously going to have to take an awful lot of healing on our Prophet in a second here. Alright, so the Ziggurat. We've been to the Ziggurat before. We know what's up here. Let's start by selling all of this garbage. Alright, what equipment do they have for sale? That's an assault rifle. Not terrible. The Warhorn spawns a beast. Gives us... Ooh. Actually, Beast Call is pretty good. We might just buy this and dismantle it, honestly. Security Sleeve gives you 2 armor, and Iron Gauntlet's cool. Iron Gauntlet's like pretty good in our deck, too. And then, of course, there's Space Plate. Not so useful in this situation, because I do not want to scrap stuff. Ooh, check this out. An MRE. An amount of food that is greater than the cost of the batteries. Well, alright, let's start by selling this comm system, which we are never going to want to use. And also these meditation beads, which I don't think we are ever going to want to use. We can buy ourselves the Warhorn, which I think is pretty good as a thing to dismantle. And then, do we want to buy this huge amount of food? I sort of want the Iron Gauntlet. Because we are guaranteed to draw a particular follower with with taunt, right? So I think I'm gonna take this too. Let's go back and fiddle with our equipment a little bit here. Also, I should level up. Hard not to take the headshot. So hard that I'm gonna take the headshot. We're gonna cut a card from our deck, and it's gonna be probably one of the bolsters, honestly. Or maybe the Blessed Strength. Is it worth double the cost for one extra point of toughness? Probably not. Alright, so we got ourselves... Oh, that's right. Sorry, we're just dismantling this. I don't think it's worth keeping. I think we want the card way more than we want the equipment itself. So we could still use a weapon. And I mean, there is technopathic ammunition right here. Entrench is also fine. We're very worried about our survival. To be perfectly honest, as much as I love technopathic ammunition, and you know that that amount is a huge amount, we might need the shield. I'm gonna buy this. Our toughness is a serious concern. Okay. So, where are we? What are we dropping for the security sleeve? Is it the one-use mortar, or is it the beast token when we play our big guy? I think it's the one-use mortar, even though it is pretty... The effect is good. It's rough that we only get one charge of it. I'm a little torn, obviously. The free reliable extra beast is really nice. I think I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the security sleeve over the Wrangler vest. We're gonna hold on to the Wrangler vest and hopefully be able to re-equip it sometime soon. The mortar fire is like reliable. All right, let's explore the area. We're gonna visit the gate. Exploring the city gives us a couple of points of a thing. We're gonna watch the people. I do not have the ability to track the slavers. It's weird that feral follow. It's weird that the dog's not feral. I mean, I guess like he's domesticated. That's the whole idea. But he should be able to do those things because it's not being feral that lets people do those things. It's having a good sense of smell that lets people do things like track. The dog should be able to do that stuff. Alright, let's check out the prison. We don't have the ability to hire help, so we'll just explore the area. Take a couple of points as scholars, that's fine. Go to the palace. Ask about the job. We'll arm some slaves. Okay, I was unable to sneak in myself because this time we did not have anybody to lead the way. I probably want to drop the keeper out of our deck. We'll throw the machine guard in, and maybe the witness. Maybe not both of them. It's going to show us two cards at the beginning of the game, right? Then we have a chance to put one back in the deck, but it doesn't actually go back in the deck until the end of the first turn, it looks like. So that'll mean that we're guaranteed, yeah, with 4 cards, we are guaranteed to see the dog on the first turn. Reasonably sure. In this situation, we can just put this Thornhide Skulker down. Also that. I'm going to hold on to Beast Call. And then, for right now, there's only 1 card remaining. No, okay, so we don't... It replaced that, but we don't actually draw a new one at the beginning of the first turn. So no, with 4 cards, we are not guaranteed to have first turn dog. I don't know why I was thinking we had a guaranteed a draw at the beginning of the game. Alright, energy drink is whatever. Scout is also pretty whatever. So we can eat one of them and double quick shot the other one. And then also gain ourselves 4 armor. I think I'm okay with that. Just try to maintain control of the situation here. Alright, and do we want to... I don't want to spend the bolster. There's a real good chance that we bolster him and then we just get hit for 2 with some kind of removal spell, so... Alright, it is time to gladly have the K9 take some dude down. And then we play a Machine Guard? Probably. Seems like the right move. Do we bolster the Machine Guard? 3 is pretty different than 2 in terms of dealing damage to this enemy, so yeah, I think so. Alright, a Phalanx is a good draw for you. A Neural Shiv would be a good draw for me. So we don't have any way of stopping the phalanx from hitting me in the face, then. Well, that's not true. I could use the witness plus blind rage. No, I can't. Yes, I can, because I can pop this energy drink for 1 energy. That feels pretty bad. But without our proper taunt guy in the deck, we just don't have a lot of options. And I have slightly more health than the enemy leader. I didn't heal before we got into battle, which I'm now thinking was maybe an error. Yeah, we gotta get rid of this dude, right? I think that's pretty important. Smash this, which we have to do either way, and then we rage this guy out. Okay, a 4-3 I'm considerably less scared of. 5-4 is a little more annoying for our situation. But only a little. You know what would be really cool is... okay, I was going to say a second static charge. That's not bad either, though. The autogun doesn't fire until the start of my next turn. So we could Neural Shiv the 5-4. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to just attack the 5-4, play the static charge, and then play 3 beasts or something. Yeah, I think that's probably the play. And these guys can double trade for me if they want to. And then we have autogun, which can hit the enemy leader, right? Plus, is it Loyal Canine or is it Beast Call? Beast Call represents more total damage, and increases, I think, the chance that these guys will hurl themselves at my tokens. I guess there's a potential downside here in that Beast Call could play something in this row. In fact, there's pretty good odds. That's fine. The beasts can just hurl themselves at the enemies. Okay, that's... Apparently they are... Huh. Alright, weird. That guy's getting shivved. Oh, okay, we have lethal. Never mind. We're all good here. So it's you just die to get out of the way so that we can kill the enemy leader. Then we go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. Alright, job's done. And hey, that's a pretty good reward. Got ourselves some altruist points, which you can never have enough of, it turns out. And let's pull the witness out of the deck. Alright, what did we pick up? We picked up some oils, which I don't think we should sell any of this stuff. I think we're just out of batteries for the moment. Okay, so, who gets healed? I'm going to do 1 heal on our followers, and then the rest of these heals on my leader. So let's put 3 guys who definitely should get healed in the deck. Honestly, this guy's a 5-3 robust. Maybe even want him to stay wounded. I'm looking at him and thinking, hey, maybe he's actually great. Let's heal the glider, I guess. Do that, and then... Okay, feeling a lot better about our position here. Let's, now readjust the deck, because I don't really want to have this many cards in it. Hold the Witness and the Skulker for the moment, and maybe the Glider. Keep this as our deck. No, I should probably have the Skulker. Skulker is a good power play. I actually really like, as far as having 3 creatures in your deck goes, I think these are a good 3 creatures. And then... I think we're good. I think we're just ready to move on here. We probably don't have time to do the whole next map, but we can get started on it at least. This rare spot of civilization, so there's a Ruster Lifter at Pit 9. Oh, that's true either way. Here we could potentially see the Dome City. We have to fight some blue devils. I think in general the Raj Guards are just like not very scary, but Dome City. Ooh, also look at all those green nodes. I think we're definitely taking the difficult terrain path. And I'm feeling alright about our position. It was just before sunrise when the guards spotted a small gang of armed thieves in torn Union uniforms trying to steal our stuff. Ragged, hungry, and wholly prepared to take what they needed. So we could let them take it and get some more altruist points. I don't really want to just go the altruist path again, but also, you know what, we don't have that much food. We probably can't afford to just let them take it. Yeah, we will confront them about it. We're not looking for trouble, we just wanted some food. We're sick of doing the Union's dirty work. We could invite them to the convoy if we had a single point of altruist more. Alright, get out of here. Get out of here, you assholes. A man and various family members dressed in rags, pulling their meager belongings in a handcart. You know what? Come on. Come and join us. Okay. Some cards here that we might conceivably play. A card here that we might conceivably play. This is great. This is a wonderful find. So now that that happened, I'm thinking we maybe don't need to take the northern food path. We might go off into the forest. Convoy happened upon a small number of stranded wagons. Gaunt figures came stumbling out toward us. Please, their leather-skinned leader begged of us. Share some of your food with us. We can give you a valuable item in exchange. A map to a buried skyship not far from here. Yeah, okay. A buried skyship allegedly filled with treasures. I'm very interested in that. Okay, it's really far away. Crossing the road, we spotted the tracks of a herd of saltibirds. I'm going to let our hunter lead the hunt, because we could really use some food. Wow, that's a pleasant amount of food to have found. So at 83 food, I feel comfortable veering off to try to get the trade goods here. It might turn out that there's a path between the food node and the trade node, maybe, but who knows. The night guard alerted us to moaning and screaming from one of our women. She was in the midst of labor, surrounded by her family. After a few hours, the miracle of life had come to pass, and our community had grown by one member. It doesn't say our community grew. What do you mean I can't put the baby in combat? Okay, last time we refused, people got sad. If we buy some liquor, we might get some hope then. Clearly the game is very pro-alcohol. Kind of curious what happens if we destroy the distillery, though, honestly. I don't want to give you my batteries. I'm blowing this distillery up. Okay, so -5 food, but +5 believers. That's interesting. Poison like this was the reason the world was shattering into pieces. It gave false hopes and destroyed communities. We set fire to the wagons. They were quickly ablaze due to the flammable spirits and raw materials. The moonshiner stood next to the fire with a blank expression, taking large sips from his bottle. Krishnadeva urged us to at least give this man some food, a wish that we granted. The mood was tense, but everyone had to learn that if we wanted a better world, some things had to be undone. Okay, believer points. I kind of forgot that those were a thing, since we couldn't get them in the last run. Let's go off into the secret path. I like a good secret path. Shout from an outrider alerted us they had found something. Hey, that's not a bad find. Helisense is awfully nice to have. I'm going to continue along the secret path here. We're probably going to want to consume some luxuries pretty soon. Slowly but steadily, we moved through the thick mists of the swamp. We could only see a few steps ahead, so everyone seemed rather surprised when we abruptly bumped into a small force of raiders who were just gathering to start their evening dinner. There was a brief moment when we thought this might be resolved peacefully, but instead of an invitation to eat with them, the mutual decision was yet another firefight. Yes, I'm sure it was extremely mutual. Alright, so we want to put you back in the deck, and also you. And we have a crate of altruist points. A thing worth thinking about. Well, that's pretty good for us. It is just static charge, right? And I can't see how it would be right to do anything else here. And then, like, bolster and entrench and go to your face for more than half of your HP. Seems pretty alright. The question is, are we going to have time to get the altruist points? Sniper is definitely a complicating factor. We could do shot plus quick shot on him, attack the thing. The 2-2 is not necessarily a big deal. I really do want these points. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, this is the way I want to do this. For a second there, I was like, well, what if I just use the shot here and then trade with the dog? But that doesn't accomplish the thing I set out to accomplish. It's just like a transparently bad play. We could, at this point... No, never mind. I was going to say we could scrap a couple of cards, but you can only scrap one thing per turn. And even if we could scrap a couple of cards, we wouldn't have been able to make enough energy for the keeper anyway, and yeah. Alright, Blind Rage, pretty good for them here. The keeper is also pretty good, though. Here's hoping I haven't consigned us to taking a bunch of extra damage by going after that altruism crate. Alright, Veteran Slaver, not too dangerous. Slightly more dangerous now. Oh, my dog did not get, he wasn't damaged out. He was Blind Rage, so he doesn't go back in the deck. Yeah, that's not ideal. Well... we could... what do we want to do here? We probably have to play Neural Shiv on the 6-3. Right, it's probably this. And then just pass. That's a really annoying thing for him to have here. Yeah, without Infinite Dog, this situation gets a lot more complicated. So this does 2 damage. He'll take 6 from a burst fire, and then we can Blind Rage him. Very far from ideal. No, wait, he'll take 6 from a burst fire. Oh, we can't. We can't play both burst fire and coordinated fire. Well, except we could if we scrapped. And the coordinated fire kills both of them. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to scrap the Blind Rage to play coordinated fire. Yeah, it turns out going after that crate may end up costing us significantly. Could you please stop having stuff? Dude plays like 5 or 6 cards per turn, every turn, and still has cards. Well... +2/+1 on the robust guy really sucks. We have a headshot still in our deck. When we draw it, he dies instantly. So I think the only play we really have here is Skulker. Go to the dome, because hold on, do we still have 2 damage cards in our deck? Quick shot, static charge, beast call, headshot. So knocking him down to 2 doesn't necessarily help. But knocking him down to 1 helps a lot. Because it makes 3 of our 4 draws instantly lethal. Oh, he was out of cards. Never mind, everything's fine. I don't know what I was so worried about. I just don't even... I do not have the habit of looking at the enemy's deck size, which is a thing we have to make less true. So the K9 took an actual wound. If we keep our K9 in, and we lose him, like really lose him, we're in so much trouble. So I think what we're going to do is pull the K9 for right now and try to play it more like a normal deck for a minute. They do this thing, and then we'll talk about resetting things with the K9 once we get him fixed. I mean, we probably need some more 3-cost guys, right? And we don't necessarily need to hold on to these units. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna do it like that. Do I want to go to the side here? That's probably just going to link us to this node. It's probably worthwhile. Let's, it's not the right button. Let's use a luxury. And then... that buys us a little bit of time. Let's let Ameritat lead some foraging, because we could sure use food. Outriders stopped the convoy when they saw the rusting tower looming in the distance. Oh no, not this thing. We're just travelers? Yeah, I'll give them some food. Okay. I didn't think that was going to work, but it was worth a shot. Alright. Let's see if we can figure this out. So... start with a Serrata glider, right? I think the Serrata glider has a chance of actually being pretty good. Yeah, like, for example, in that situation. So what do we want to play now? I probably want to just drop the weakened column somewhere and restrict their movement around the table a little bit. Or, you know, their placement. It's probably worth quick shot. Oh, that thing has... never mind. It is not quick shotable. Feels a little bad not to play anything, really, but at the same time, I don't want to do 1 damage to my beast. Establishing the Spark Shaman would be really good, though. Doing damage to our beast means we effectively can't play Static Charge. Also, the Spark Shaman eats the Spike Trap that way, which may well mean that it just dies. Yeah, let's do this. We'll bolster, and I could just Static Charge this thing, right? A construct is a unit. Yeah, alright. I'm putting myself in a little bit of a position here, but, like, we gotta deal with that. Please don't kill my awesome beast. That sucks, because all of my leader cards are awesome. That also sucks. Well... now we have a good Spark Shaman play, at least. It's like, quick shot, scrap the bolster... it doesn't help. Yeah, he's just gonna get a bunch of free bolsters that we can't do anything about, really? I mean, not a bunch. He gets a free bolster, and then we can kill it with shot next turn. Yeah, that's just the way of it. Do I want to play bolster now? Because I'm not... well, I'll probably play keeper next turn, so we'll have an extra cell, probably. Alright, coordinated fire, not awesome here. I can make my guy a 5/5. Kill their 4/5, probably get killed by their other dude. And then that still leaves me with enough energy cells to do other stuff. To play Machine Guard or something. Yeah, actually, this is probably what it is, right? Bolster, get this kill, and then just play the Keeper, which makes it really hard for them to retaliate against the 5/1. Play the Keeper in a place where a push doesn't prevent the taunt from working. And unfortunately that means that they are going to get all the bolsters that they want. But we're establishing an amount of damage that is approaching lethal. Okay, Spark Thrower is pretty good. You played it a little later in the turn than you probably should have. This would be a pretty good time for burst fire. Have we drawn our burst fire yet? No, it's still in there. Alright, so we have 7 damage worth of attacking creatures. We need to get in for 11 to win. So if we Neural Shiv the 2/3, or that's a silly way to think about this. Why don't I just play Coordinated Fire? Why don't I just play Coordinated Fire? It does only hit enemy followers, which is a shame, but I'll take it. And then we'll just tap this thing out. Spark Thrower doesn't have strain, does it? No, it doesn't. So it's actually going to be a huge problem. Alright, we're going to let him have his last bolster, I guess. I'm going to scrap the Archivist, and we're going to kill this thing. As much as I hate to use our cards in that way. Alright, that's a lot of that is a real bummer. I was about to say this would be a real good time to draw Burst Fire. Okay, but we could scrap ourselves 9 energy. So if we Neural Shiv the Taunt, and then Blind Rage the guy with the barrier, we have 11 damage, which is lethal, right? Kill you. Scrap you. Blind Rage you. And then who gets the blessing? Do we want to restore the Spark Shaman, or do we want a blessing on our really extremely good guy? I think the answer is that we want the blessing on the good guy. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad of an outcome. In fact, a very good outcome. Do we want to... Who got wounded? It was the glider. Yeah, let's pull the glider. And then maybe put in, like, the chieftain or something. We just need to make sure that we have enough cards to actually win a battle until we get to heal. As the sun reached the horizon, a small fire ahead drew our attention. A band of pilgrims had set up camp. They shared us a little bit of food. Then we recruited them. And they weren't wounded. Hooray! Welcome to my deck immediately. Just before we took off in the early hours of the morning, 2 followers brought Haripriya to me. They'd caught the prisoner in the night picking through their belongings. Come on, man. That's a scavenger savant? I don't really care about a scavenger savant. We expel the criminal. There could be no mercy for these sorts of crimes. The criminal was given meager rations and told to leave the camp, never to return. So we're, like, definitely not getting to the Dome City. And in fact, looking at the situation here, probably this is where we ought to call it for today. We got something going. I am not 100% confident that this is actually going to work out the way we want it to work out, but this is where we are going to have to leave it for the moment. It's a very interesting deck. It's an interesting deck and an interesting challenge, and I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to lose. Come back next time to see if that's actually the case, and we'll see you then.